There, we got the tank home, got her drained. Now it's time to start cutting out a doorway in this thing. We're gonna cut it out of this end because it's all dented up, but it looks pretty good. There's a big dent in this end, so we're gonna cut it out of this end. That way, maybe we can get that dent popped back out, and we'll put us a door. Probably like a 5-foot tall door or something. Won't be. I don't know. Might be 6 foot. The tank itself is, let's say, I'll get my tape measure to hang on, I can tell you. I'll just say 7 foot right at it, 84 inches. So we'll be able to put we can put a 6 foot tall door in it. 6 foot would be right here to this weld. So we can cut that out. We've got more soapstone or nothing else. But yeah, we'll go ahead and make us a 6 foot door in it, so that way it's nice and easy to get in and out of. Nobody's banging their head on nothing, maybe. Well, no, it won't be 6 foot either, because I'm not going to cut the bottom out. And here I'm going to leave it flat, because I'm going to put basically put a floor in it using some stuff just like this. So I got some more of that piled up there out back. I'm going to use that just to put a floor in it. Then we're going to put, bench seats on the sides of it. So we'll only cut it up to about, or down to about right here, somewhere in there. That would be how our floor would be. Probably make the floor, 3 foot wide or so. Oh, it's easy, to get everybody in there in case of emergency. If a storm bears down on us, it'd be easy to get in and out of there. The only real thing I'm worried about is how I'm gonna get all the smell out of this thing, because it smells just terrible with that old diesel fuel. It smells real bad. So I don't know. I got a lot of figuring to do. Then we gotta put in some kind of vents up top, some kind of ventilation. But it's all stuff I still got to figure out. Main thing is getting a door cut into it to where we can get some of the, because it's got a bunch of rust and stuff inside it, so we're going to get all that cleaned out. And then once we get that cleaned out, we got to paint it. Well, I'll probably go ahead and get everything welded up first, and then we're going to try to paint it with something to prevent any more rust from forming on it. So. But either way, we're going to get after it. So right now we're just going to try to rough in where we want a doorway. We're going to say this here's center. We want a doorway at least 30 inches wide. So it's nice and easy to get into. We're going to go 15 inches. Make a mark there. 30 inches, make a mark there. And all we need to do kind of go by this weld here and just go off of it. That way we can cut the whole weld out of there. We'll go right there. Cut that whole weld out. And right there. Right there. And let me go get a framing square and go off that. Once we get some marks started, we can just put a straight edge up there and figure the rest out. Longer one here, the whole thing marked out. Good to go. I'm gonna start with an angle grinder because, like I said, there's still some stuff in there. I'm hoping the thing don't blow up on me. I don't think it will. Just barely is flammable. The stuff that's in there barely will burn. You strike a lighter to it and it barely will burn. So I've had it opened up, letting the fumes get out for, I don't know, over a week now, I guess. So we're gonna try just putting an angle grinder to it and cutting. You know, we might just cut us a little door in it somewhere, maybe down here somewhere, where we can just see in there, see what kind of stuff we're dealing with. Because so far, all I've been able to do is look through the little portholes, and you can't really tell much about it just looking through those. We'll have to go back and figure out where we want to cut that bottom line in at, but we're gonna get us an angle grinder and cut into it somewhere just to see what happens. And yeah, I'll be recording, so if it blows up on me, we'll might get a little bit of excitement that way. Well, got our angle grinder, so I'll just say a little prayer for me. Hope this thing don't blow up when I go cutting into it. Burning my finger. I don't see no smoke billowing out of it yet, so it must not be on fire in there. Oh yeah, she's smoking a little bit. Well, if it catches on fire, we'll just let it burn. Burn all the old fumes out of it. I think I'm going to go get the plasma cutter. I can't do all that with that angle grinder. That's getting old real quick. Yeah, we got the plasma cutter out here. We're going to give it a shot. That's a whole lot easier. Now it's on fire. I actually see a flame in there now. Oh yeah, we got some fire in there now. Quite a bit, it looks like. Flaming up pretty good in there. We're gonna have to run. I'll have to throw some water in there. Went and did all that work dragging up all that water hose, and the fire's already out by the time I get back. Still smoking pretty good, but the fire's out. Best I could tell. We're gonna get back to cutting on it. Fire. It's got diesel fuel in it. She is got us a doorway cut now. Well, that got a little out of hand pretty quick, but I think she's mostly burnt out now. But it got pretty wild. Hopefully I got it all on camera, I don't know. Getting the floor built for it. We're gonna use this stuff here. It's all separate, but we're gonna cut us 3 pieces to length and then probably just weld them back together. They got holes in them where you can bolt them together. It's just easier just to weld them. It is galvanized, so I don't know. It'd be better if we bolted them. We'll see when we get there. Right now we're going to be cutting them to length. And what it'll end up doing, these will run the full length, front to back. And then we'll have benches built out off the sides that connect to the top of these. And then probably make maybe the very back will probably be like basically a bed. So that way if we ever got to spend the night in the storm shelter, we won't be too awfully uncomfortable. Well, there it is. That's going to be our floor. We'll get that welded together probably tomorrow. I won't start working on it one more day. And then we'll try to get stuck in there and weld it in maybe tomorrow. I don't know yet. I kind of need to clean it out real good and get some paint on the inside of it before I do a whole lot to it. But either way, I just hadn't got nothing done on it in a while, so I wanted to get this done today. We'll be back to work on it whenever I can. I don't know when it'll be though. Have to be soon because I don't want this laying on the floor for very long. Doing some experiment on the floor today. I think what we're going to do is this here is not sitting on the ground. I don't want to add a bunch to it to stiffen this up. I think we're going to cut this leg down enough to make this sit all the way down on the floor. Plus it's going to help us out as far as height too, because I really want this to be below the threshold of the door. And right now, probably an inch and a half, 2 inches above it. So we're going to cut these off, these legs here, to be able to lower it down far enough for these to sit flat on the bottom. Then we ain't got to do a whole lot of reinforcing on it. Otherwise we would have to, because they're real flimsy. So we're going to get that figured out, how much we need to cut off those legs, and then go from there. We'll just experiment with these short pieces so we'll get an idea of what we need before we go cutting on the long ones. Let me get a tape measure. Alright, so we got an 1.5 inches. So we'll start taking 1.5 inches off these and see where that puts us. We're gonna make sure this is good. It is surely hot in here. Our floor. Get in here and weld it in a few spots. Alright folks, we're going to try to get us a door frame built out of a bunch of junk, basically. That one piece there, that's actually a new piece I bought for a different project, but ended up buying too much. So, we're going to use it on this. But the rest of it's just old rusty junk that we're going to turn into something usable. Basically, all we're going to be working on right now is just getting us a frame around the door here. Something kind of heavy duty. That way we don't got to worry about no tornado shucking it out or nothing. I did some painting in there. Still looks like crap, but looks better than what it did. We got our floor. I still got to build some benches though. But right now, today, we are going to worry about getting the door frame built. I really want to build me like a dedicated cut table. But my problem with tables, they always end up being a catch-all. So, probably better off just doing this. That way I don't have a table full of crap. Now, there and there. Alright, we got our door frame. We're about to get it welded up. We got to, I don't know if y'all see it, but it's really dented right there. So we're gonna weld the door frame up right there and then bring it over here, put it up there and kind of hopefully get that dent, that out of it, maybe. That's what we're shooting for anyway. See, it's got a huge dent right here, but I don't think there's no way I'm gonna get that out. So we're not gonna worry about it. We're just gonna try to get this spot here straightened up. And I figured the best way to do that is go ahead and get the whole frame welded out and then stick it up there and get it pulled in with some clamps or something. Put some good heavy tacks on there. I usually pull it, but I always like just tack it on the inside. That way you can bend the tacks a little bit. And then tack the sides. And she's square. And then we'll take and set that right on top of the other one. Just like that. Ow, my head. From that corner. There's 79 or 77 and 7/8. 77 and 15/16. That's, I'll say, for what we're working with and what we're building, that's plenty good enough. So we're gonna weld that out. Got a little welding shot there. Alright, we're gonna take this angle right here. We're gonna weld it in there. just like that, and it'll be our kind of our door stop. That's where our door will sit against to kind of seal it off. So this is what we got for the door. That's 3/16 AR 400, so hardened steel plate there. All right, we're gonna get us a piece of plate cut for our door. Now we're gonna take a 1/2 inch off the end. There we go. So we got 29.5. Good there. All right. We are good all the way around. All right, we got our door. We'll get her all loaded out here. All right, let's get her tacked up. Now we gotta move to this one. Now, just that one more side over there. Alrighty, let's get it all clamped down. Then we got to remeasure that. Get our center back. Alrighty, let's get that welded up. Alright, we're back on the storm shelter again finally. It's been a minute since we worked on it, but here we are, getting back after it. I've done a little bit of stuff to it since I did any recording. I've actually did some painting on the inside, not a whole lot, but just trying to get some of the rust under control. We're gonna try to get the door on it today. That's our goal anyway. First off, we gotta build the hinges. I ain't 100% sure how I'm gonna do them yet, so we'll take y'all along with me. we'll figure it out. But this is what I got right here. 1 inch round tubing, 11 gauge, and then a 3/4 inch rod. It slides right in there pretty good. So that's what we're gonna go with. We just gotta figure out how to get it on there and it actually open and close. But I think we'll figure it out. Clean up some of my mess so you don't have to look at all that. I'm gonna get some of this cut up. Three of those. Now I need to cut us off a piece of this. About that long. I don't know if that's it or not. That definitely wasn't it. Alright, so now all this will go together like so. Then these will get welded. The pin will get welded in there. I'll have to clean up the ends so they ain't rough, but either way, the ends will get welded. Then this one will be left free. So now these will go underneath there, like so. And then we'll put one back here too. We've got to cut it off just a little bit. Now we got all the parts, we just got to get them cleaned up. All right, now we can just weld those ends up. So we left a little bit of a gap in there. let those cool for a little bit. All right, we got the hinges done. Now we just got to get them set in place and welded on. Alrighty, let's get them welded on there real good. Got to have my morning coffee. I don't drink coffee, but that's the next best thing. So now we've got to do a door latch. We're going to use probably the same stuff we used here. Probably put two of them, one close to the top, one close to the bottom. All right, so this is what we're going for with our latching mechanism. I'm just going to we'll blow some holes in that with a torch, just so them pins can go through there. I was going to drill them out and make it nice and neat, but I can't get my drill in there. So we're just going to blow some holes out with a torch, probably clean them up with a die grinder real good. All right, so now we're gonna take these pieces of angle. We'll weld them on there, and that way it kind of just acts as a latch for the handle, and it will hold it up so that way that this is always ready to be pushed in. And I don't want these to be able to come out. So, I'll go back right here and add something else to keep it from being able to come out. Just like that. Hinges and latches, it didn't cost me a dime. It is heavy. It is very heavy. I mean, very heavy. I don't know if we'll get it in there or not. Well, that was my workout for today. Get this thing welded in now. Or tacked in, then we're gonna go back and check, make sure the door's gonna open like it's supposed to. We'll see if it still opens and closes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No problem. Alrighty folks, we got the door in. It ain't none too pretty, but it's in there and it opens and closes. So that's all we're worried about. So if you've hung with me this long, I appreciate you watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss none of my future content. And as always, we'll see you on the next one.